West Ham United are now in Bačka Topola in Serbia, a little town with a population of around 12,000 people. The Hammers are in town. There's 320 on the nose West Ham fans that will be entering as we speak the TSC arena, hoping for West Ham to put in a controlled, professional and composed performance tonight against a side that really we should be beating. I hope you are well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on today's build-up show. It's an away game, so it's a 5:45 kickoff, which always takes the sting off of it a little bit. It doesn't really feel like Europe, just everyone's getting home just as it starts, and yeah, it just feels a little bit different this one. But I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Nigel to talk through it. Nigel, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. A bit cold, but
yeah,
the weather's dropped a bit, but yeah, I'm good.
Well, it's a bit chilly. I had to put a big jumper on today. I was like, oh, it's a bit cold out there. Yeah, winter.
Yeah, my office is freezing.
Well and truly here. Michael, thank you very much indeed for joining us. He says, afternoon, I've got a bad feeling Ings will start. Well, I am going to put you out of your misery. And we're expecting him not to start. And we're expecting Divine Mubama to start up front on his own with, I believe, Ben Rama at one side of him. We don't have official confirmation yet, but from what we've heard, expecting Mubama up front with Fornals playing as well alongside Ben Rama and Paqueta in there. So we'll get official confirmation of the lineup in about 10 minutes time, I believe. But overall, it's a side we should be beating, Nigel, really, isn't it?
Well, we've already beaten them, and yeah, they didn't look too clever when we played them last time, but we should have enough to beat them. I'm really happy that Mbama's possibly got a chance of starting because he looked lively when he came on Saturday. Well, he had to put him on really because if he'd have been there and he'd have heard the crowd, I think he got pressurised into it. But he got a half hour and he proved that he's as soon as he came on, he proved that he's got a bit more about him than Ings has.
Made a difference.
Didn't. It was like watching the Invisible Man, watching Danny Ings.
Yeah. What was it like in that away end on Saturday? Because I mean, I messaged Terry who comes on at 4:42 and said, glad we aren't in Burnley. He messaged back at 4:48 and said, yeah, I'd quite like to be there right now. So a huge difference that 5 minutes made. What was it like?
Yeah, to be fair, Jake, there was two guys standing next to me and they went on, I think, 75 minutes. They went, I've had enough of this, and they left. But we was right next to the away fans and we was getting a little bit of stick off of them. So obviously I just had a feeling we might get an equaliser. But I thought if we got an equaliser, we'd go on and win, which had happened. And yeah, it was just their fans were devastated, mate. You could just see that the whole and their team. I don't know if you saw when Suchek's goal went in. I don't know if it's marking him. I can't remember who it was, but he just put his head in his hands. He knew that he'd let him go. And yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, the fans were superb, to be fair. And we really got behind the team. And yeah, it was one of them places that the last 5 times I've been to Burnley, we've lost 4 of them. So they have painted the place up though, which is a bit better, and they put a new pavement outside. So,
Burnley, go steady. Back to this game, Michael's correct. No Bowen, Antonio Kudus or Alvarez. They've all stayed at home. I think most of them are enforced. I must admit, but I think there may have been a little bit of Moyes going, yeah, we've got quite an important game on Sunday against Palace at home, which again we're expecting to probably win as a fan base. We should be winning that game if we want to be in the top half of the table at the end of the day at home. And I think that's the wise decision, not risking Bowen if he's only 80% fit against the slot. We should have enough firepower and quality with a young natural striker up front with Ben Rama, with Paqueta, with Fornals. There should be enough quality there today, Nigel. Even if it's not a pretty game of football, as long as we win, then I don't really care.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Alvarez didn't go.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware that Alvarez hadn't gone. I knew that Kudus hadn't gone, and Bowen and Antonio, obviously. But yeah, we'll definitely have enough firepower to get them. I'd like to also see Mavropanos play.
Yeah,
because I think there's a lot of people going on. Personally, a lot of people, Zuma's our captain. From what I've seen, obviously up close, Mavropanos, I think he's a better player than Zuma. I honestly, a lot of people are going to go, no, you're talking rubbish, but I personally think that. I think he's a great footballer, and he comes forward a bit more, than Zuma. And I think he's a good player. I'd like to see him start today.
Oh yeah, 100%. Today's game is, a game made for him. We've got a lot of games over the next month. We've got a game literally every 3 days in the calendar month of December. So these sorts of games are where the likes of Mavropanos and Ogbonna have got to come in. And yeah, there will be some rotation today, 100%, because we haven't got our full squad even in the country to start with. So there are going to be changes, and there will be a difference today. And I just hope that the players out there can perform and get a result better than they have done, in the other games where Moyes has massively rotated. The games that come to mind are Lincoln away, which was quite a tough watch. You've got the Olympiacos away game that broke our unbeaten streak. So we haven't had a fantastic record or time when Moyes has massively made wholesale changes. So I'm hoping there's just going to be, the likes of Paqueta in there just to steady the ship and just to hold the fort together, whilst we also allow the majority of those first teamers to get a rest, Nigel.
Yeah, we definitely need a rest. Palace are a team that we always seem to have problems against. Again, like Brighton, they always seem to nick something from us. We struggle against them, but I have got a few players out as well. I think Eze's out, and I think Decore got a bad injury, but Elise's back for them, who's a very good player. But like I say, we do need to keep a strong squad, and we do need to save some of those players for that game. I think definitely.
Do you want to see the lineup because it has been released?
Yeah, we got.
Let's bring it up on to the screen. And it was as expected. It's Fabianski who's captain in goal. It's Ben Johnson making a return to the team with Mavropanos alongside Naeva Gerd as the centre-back pairing. Creswell comes back into the side at left-back, we presume. A midfield three of Fornals, Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček. I'd expect Paqueta on one side, Ben Rama on the other, and then Divine Mubama leading the line. There's a lot to digest there. Let's start chronologically at the start. Fabianski expected to start. Ben Johnson over Tilo Kehrer. Nigel, what do you make of that?
Well, maybe he wants to keep Kehrer fit. Because playing, I'm not a great fan of Johnson. Too many mistakes. He's a championship player. And in my opinion, a lot of people might disagree, which is we've all got our own opinions, but I think Johnson makes too many mistakes. He's been terrible. From when I've seen him, he's been awful, and I'll go to more or less every game. So not really happy about Johnson there. So I would have, but Kehrer hasn't set the world on fire. So I suppose Moyes is thinking he's got to give Johnson a game at some point.
I suppose, yeah. What's your thoughts of the one first team centre half involved in Naeva Gerd? Maybe just to assist Mavropanos, because Ogbonna and Mavropanos didn't work. Was it against Olympiacos? They had a bit of a mare together, I thought. And so putting Mavropanos with the Gerd, I think, will improve him.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Gerd. A lot of people are really slaughtered him, saying he makes too many mistakes, but he's a super footballer. If you watch him, he's got vision. He's got a great touch. He's got vision. He can pass. He's got a brilliant, he can ping a ball 60 yards to someone's feet. Well, that doesn't come off all the time, but I really rate him. I think he's a good player, a very good boy. Mavropanos, every time I've seen him play, he's impressed me. Against Brentford, I thought he had a really good game. As some people say he didn't, but I thought he was really good, and he's good in the air. He brings the full ball forward, and he can ping a ball as well. So yeah, I'm happy he's playing. I think he could bully his way into the team, I think.
Yeah. And then Creswell, that doesn't fill anybody with any confidence particularly, does it?
Well, he'll do a job, won't he? He's been a left back. He's very, very experienced, and he's experienced in Europe, getting sent off. He's experienced in Europe. Old school footballer. I think he'd do all right against this mob.
Yeah.
So I've not really got. Yeah, he's got to give him a game, hasn't he? Is he club captain? I believe, is he, or something? I don't know.
Creswell, is he? Well, no.
Well, there was talk of him being club captain.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. And to be fair, that was probably warranted. If his form would have stayed at the level it was, then that would have been 100%.
He was brilliant when we first started. Do you remember? I was watching the other day. It said I watched his first goal the other day on Facebook. And he was great. I think he was in contention for Hammer of the Year, or got Hammer of the Year a while back. But he was, he's a player, isn't he? Creswell. He can. He's got a decent cross on him and that when he wants to. He could get up pitch sometimes. So yeah,
always gets back. But I mean, even just on Creswell, today marked, I think it was 4 years since that famous 1-0 win away from home at Chelsea. We've got a chance. Martin's in goal, and that game was obviously dominated with that chant and David Martin and the emotion that came with that. But I also forgot when I watched the highlights back on Twitter earlier today, the magnificent goal that Aaron Creswell scored in that game.
Yeah,
as you remember, he got it. He cut it back inside. Yeah, cut back inside and drilled into the corner, and that gets overshadowed because of the whole David Martin thing. But yeah, Creswell, brilliant servant for the football club. We won't talk about the red cards in Europe, and let's hope he could just put in a solid performance. How can you expect Moyes to construct this midfield together then? Fornals, Ward-Prowse, and Souček. Who's going where? Do you think?
Do you know what? On when I was watching the game on Saturday, Souček was playing like just behind Ings for some, and I was like, shouldn't he be the deep? Shouldn't he be deep? Because you had Ward-Prowse and I was like, what's going on here with Souček? Do you know what I mean? So looking at those 4 midfielders, you think Benrahma's he's not gonna sit back, is he? He's going to stay wide. You've got Ward-Prowse, who's not like a real tough tackling defender, is he?
And his foot in, but
Fornals ain't a defender, although he does run around a lot. So I don't really know how that's going to work, because they're players, those midfielders. There's no one there who's like screams to me, right, I'm controlling this midfield. I'm going to sit here in the middle and I'm going to. Well, you never see that from us anyway. I was talking to a guy the other day about how we play, and we still put the ball out wide to our wing backs, and then majority of the time, 70%, 80% of the time, they just come back inside. Nothing ever goes through the middle with us. You watch us play, and you'll see that. So yeah, I don't quite know what's going to go on there.
I think the case with that midfield is you've got 3 okay midfielders in a midfield, not together in a midfield with Alvarez, who's going to sit, because there isn't a natural sitter there. I don't know.
No, there isn't.
No,
yeah, there isn't.
Well, no, because I was thinking Souček, but he hasn't really done that. Ward-Prowse isn't going to do it. Is it going to be Fornals? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe Moyes has gone crazy. He's just set a back 4 up. All 3 of them are just going to charge 4. We're going to play we're going to play a 4-6 formation, and it's going to be mental, Nigel.
Well, it certainly looks like that, because Fornals is a forward player, isn't he? Yeah. Souček likes to get up. Ward-Prowse, likes to play up high, doesn't he? And Benrahma, he hugs the touchline, doesn't he? So yeah, I don't know what's happening in the middle. Maybe Moyes has looked at their midfield and thought they was 2 bob, so we won't worry about it. We just keep trying to play forward, which would be something we're not used to seeing, to be fair.
The other interesting talking point is the lack of inclusion for, once again, Maxwell Cornet. Now, I said on the preview last night, this is a perfect game for him to come in and get some game time, but he's opted for Paqueta and Benrahma on the wings. What do you make of that, Nigel?
We don't see what Cornet's like in training, do we? I mean, do you know what? When I remember him playing for Burnley, scoring a few belter goals, I thought, yeah, he's going to be decent for us. And then when he played for us, he wasn't very good when he did play. And then, funny enough, I looked back through Maxwell Cornet's highlights the other day, and it's nothing that's going to make you, jump out of your chair if you watch them. So maybe he's just an ordinary bang average player,
That just can't get any game time.
Well, exactly. I mean, and if he's bang average in training, I mean, that's what you're going to look at, isn't it? Yeah. He's going to play the people in training who are looking sharp and looking good. And if he isn't doing that, then we're moaning about, he's not playing Cornet. But do you know what? He could play him for 4 games and he could be absolute pony. And we'd be like, God, what's he playing him for?
But then we don't know, do we? We don't know, because we haven't, loads of these players, and every single player in this squad, especially attacking players, Fornals, Benrahma, etc., they've all had so many opportunities in that first team side. I mean, last season, Benrahma had so many opportunities in that side. Even if you want to play him centrally, Souček had so many. So he played every game last year, despite how crap he was, Souček. And I'm not saying that Cornet should have came in and played all the last season and the rest of it, but I feel a little bit sorry for him. And yes, he may be a little bit frustrating, but at the end of the day, with Kudus not in that side, he gives us an extra dimension of pace that we do not have in that side. Mubama's got a bit of zip and a bit of pace about him, but apart from that, that is very paceless. I mean, Benrahma's got no pace, but Keita hasn't got a great deal of pace. That midfield is paceless, full stop. Creswell's got no pace. Johnson's got not a lot of pace. So there ain't much pace in there. So I just felt
there ain't. We never have had, though.
No.
We've never had. Who can you name at West who's played for West Ham who's been super, super fast?
Kudus, potentially.
But no one who's a centre forward who can skim players alive. We've never really had that. So I mean, not that I can remember. We had Stuart Slater once, who was very quick down the lines and stuff, and but apart from that, I can't remember us having lightning fast forwards.
No.
And you're right, there ain't no pace in that team. I mean, Benrahma, this is my bugbear with him. I think he's got good skill in that, but he's too predictable. When the ball, and we keep passing it wide to him, knowing full well
what he's going to do.
He's not going to go past someone. Yeah. Even when he gets in a good position and he's got a couple of yards and he breaks, they just eat him up, and he's got no chance of, over 10 yards. That's it. He's done. So that's what the only way he's going to go past people is if he plays a quick ball in, sidesteps, and then. But he doesn't. When he does all his step overs, he very seldom beats a man, does he?
No, he doesn't. No. My favourite Benrahma trick is when he gets the ball out on the right hand side, left hand side, whatever. He gets it. He takes a touch. He cuts back inside, and he overhits the ball into the box, and it goes all the way out for a goal kick around the other side. That's the Benrahma trademark.
Where he looks good is where he gets the ball, couple of step overs, knocks a 1-2, and then gets it back on his right foot, and then as a first time delivery or shot. That's when he looks good. Apart from that, when he gets the ball wide, I think he's never going past people.
No,
he's too predictable, and he's not got that quality to go past people. You look at Jeremy Doku, and then look at. Do you know what I mean? You look at the difference when he gets the ball and he does exactly the same thing as Benrahma. He skins people alive.
Yeah,
and Benrahma can't do that. So I don't know why we keep putting him in that position.
Yeah, I know. It's just frustrating. Michael says Burnley could break their duck Saturday. They've got Sheffield United at home, honestly. If any neutral watches that football match, I don't know what's wrong with them, if I'm being totally honest with you. Michael says worry is the midfield. Souček and James Ward-Prowse do not work. The team have got a bug. Kudus is ill. I presume Alvarez is as well. Johnson starting, says Kehrer will be sold in January. Centre back, good, both ballers and fast, says Michael. Fornals orders, for sure. Fornals will have to come back and cover Creswell. Maybe if he's starting that central role, he's going to have to dip back into that left-hand side just to assist, because is Benrahma going to help out a lot? I am not too sure. Freddie Sears is prime for a bit of pace up front, says Michael. I think that's what he's referencing there. Michael also says Benny runs forward till he meets the player, then the ball goes back to the centre circle or he just loses it. That is it. Let's have a look at the subs bench and see who is there. We've got some youngsters there. Areola, Anang, so two keepers. Zuma, Cornet, Ings, Ogbonna, Kehrer, Coventry, Emerson, Chesters, Scarles and Orford. So two
Scarles
keepers.
would have been good.
Yeah.
I think he should have maybe started. He should have started Scarles. He started a European game before and he done all right. Well, I can't see Callum Marshall, which is
no, he's not there. Yeah, I said that in the preview last night. I'd expect Marshall to be there if any youngsters are going to be there. So two keepers: Zuma, Ogbonna, Kehrer, and Emerson as the defensive options. Coventry in midfield, and then you've got and then Cornet and Danny Ings. Not that he does anything, along with Chester, Scarles, and Orford. If we're in a good position, Nigel, I'd love to see one of those three youngsters getting a run out.
Oh, 100% Chesters. I've seen Chesters play before. He's a decent player. Scarles played well when he played against Steaua Bucharest, wasn't it?
FCSB. Yeah.
He played, any of those youngsters, but I'd love to see him get a run. The thing, my bugbear, going back to the Mubama thing, is like, I was talking on the Saturday to a few people, and what frustrates me is that we've got Antonio out, and there's Ings there, and Bowen was injured, and Mabama must have been thinking to himself, if I can't get a start now, when am I ever going to get a start? Because that is like a kick up the gonads, really, isn't it, from Mabama? Because he's like, if all the forwards are out and Ings is getting in ahead of me, he can't rate me very much, and that's disappointing, isn't it? Well, the difference you've got, what I've looked at, when you look at Mabama and you look at Ings, and you look at any of our forwards, Antonio, he's easy to mark because he's a statue, and then the ball comes to him and it bounces off him, and unless you kick the ball over the top to him, he's not very effective at all. And Ings just looks lost. He looks like he doesn't know where he's got to play. But when you watch Mabama play, defenders have to mark him because he pulls defenders, and that's the one thing defenders do not like, to be pulled around the pitch. And he does that. He pulls defenders about, and he makes himself available all the time. And you know what? If he's going to get in, all right, he's made a point on Saturday, which was great. That he's all right. It's gone down as an OG, but he's got himself in there and got himself noticed. If he could score a couple tonight, then he's got a real good chance. And then Moyes can't then keep ignoring him.
If Antonio's not fit for Sunday, which is the expectation, then if Mubama impresses tonight, scores a goal, whatever, there's no way he can turn back Sunday and go, I'm going to start Danny Ings up front. He just can't, because people will walk out.
Bowen in, to be fair, he put Bowen in at centre forward.
Yeah, true.
But Mabama's got to be second choice striker in my eyes.
But surely then, I mean, I'm up for Bowen up front, but Bowen's better on the right wing. We all know that. So if we've got Mubama there with some confidence, surely going through Moyes' has got to be, well, it would be better for Bowen to be out on the right, and then it'll be better to have Mubama, give him some time. So surely, if Bowen's going to be fit Sunday, I think the majority of fans that walk into that stadium Sunday would prefer to see Bowen on the right and Mubama up front, opposed to Bowen up front and whoever else you can get.
Then what do you do with Kudus? What do you do with Kudus then?
That's the thing.
It's nice to have that problem. Yeah. It's nice to have, because Kudus is a player who likes to cut inside, doesn't he? From where Bowen is and onto his left foot, and he's created 2 goals out of nothing on. He didn't do anything. He was they had 3 or 4 players around him every time he got the ball, and when he created the first goal, he still had 4 players around him, and he still got the ball in. So he's a magical player. And
if it were me on Sunday, just to eradicate another problem of Paqueta on the left, I put Mubama down the middle, I put Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, Paqueta in that middle role, which he thrives in. Paqueta thrives in that role. I don't like Paqueta out on the left because I just feel he's wasted out there, and he gets frustrated and he starts diving around, and he's got a bit of an attitude.
Mate, even our fans were like on his case the other day when he's falling back. He was saying, "Get up!" It's embarrassing. And you know what? I don't like to see him anywhere in our half.
No,
because he is the worst. They used to joke about Masuaku, who never gives the ball away. There ain't no one in our team that gives the ball away more than Lucas Paqueta. He doesn't. He loses.
At least he tries.
He's magic when he gets his skill and him as a player sort of outweighs how much he gives the ball away. It's dreadful. Honestly, any other player would be slaughtered for that. But because it's him, if that was Benrahma, that everyone would be caning him, because if
it was Souček, he would never have ended it.
They're like, no, he's too good a player, so we're just let him. It's like the Canio and Arnautovic was. They would, you know what I mean? It was they were so loved by the fans that their mistakes go unpunished.
Michael says, Benny, we've done that one. What's for tea? I believe it's chicken burgers, but don't quote me on that 100%. You'll find out when you get him in 20 minutes. Surprise Paqueta is playing after what words were said between him and Moyes. Yeah, you can believe that if you want. I mean, it's all rumours, isn't it? Whether him and Moyes had a tiff. I tell you what, if him and Moyes had a tiff, then he wouldn't be playing today, would he? To be honest, there weren't no argument there. But if there was, I put my hands up. But I can't see that. Fredericks was fast. He was. He was. just get that.
Do you know what? I've said this before. Do you know what? I said that Fredericks, right, was one of the quickest players in the league.
No, easily. Yeah, he was 100%.
He wouldn't. He'd get the ball played up to him wide, and then he'd be too scared to take players on. And
I
he just
like
dug out
Fredericks
there.
as a player. I really liked him, but it ended for me. I don't know whether you were there when we at Old Trafford when we lost them a couple of years ago, when they scored in the last minute.
Oh,
And
Rashford scored.
yeah, we were no word of a lie. We were round towards the goal sort of side of the away end, and we were right in line with Fredericks in the last minute of the game, away from home at Old Trafford. It was 0-0 at the time. Getting the ball in the 93rd minute and bombing up the right hand side, loses the ball. Big gap there. They run through it. Cavani puts it in. Rashford scores. And honestly, that picture has never left my mind. And, whenever I think of Fredericks, honestly, I was like, why did you run forward? Just sit and get the point. And yeah,
we just our right backs, right? When you look back over the right backs, we've got, Frederick. We had Fredericks and Johnson are the two players that I've looked at and I thought these blokes can't go past people.
Yeah,
they get the ball, they panic, and they pass it back. Yet they both got a bit of pace about them, but they won't take people on. They just won't do it. I mean, do you know what? Soufal, I think, has been one of our best players this year. And that bloke is hard as nails, and do you know what? He'll always try and bomb up the line, and they try and go past people and get the, and play 1-2s and get the ball in the box. But that's what we need. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not going to, right backs. If you're a wing back, you've got to be attacking.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. Michael says that's interesting. Stats-wise, Paqueta loses the ball as much as Souček, so they're in a similar ballpark. That doesn't surprise me, to be honest. Michael says he told Moyes he was a numpty and starting 4 now with 2 minutes at the end. But well, I didn't know that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right, Nigel.
What's numpty in Brazilian?
I don't know. I'm going to have a look. Whilst you do that, whilst I do that, sorry, let's have your prediction, Nigel.
Tonight, 3-0.
I like it.
To West Ham.
Yeah, of course. Goal scorers, whilst I find Google Translate on it.
Mubama will score. Maybe he'll get 2 and 4-0.
Ooh, 4-0. I like it. What do they speak in Brazil? Is it Brazilian or Spanish or what?
Portuguese, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I'm going to have a look now.
Brazil.
Language in Brazil. Stay with us, guys, and we will get numpty. Portuguese, you are correct. So Portuguese. Brazil. There we go. And numpty. Numpty is entrosapente. So I will get it up onto the screen and you can.
Proper entropaprente.
Hey, Moyes, you're a proper entropacente. It's coming up on the screen. Hang on, give me.
There you go.
Here we go. Right, you won't get this anywhere else. Oh no. Right, it's coming. Don't worry. Just getting the screen right. Here we go. Let's change the screen over. Moyes, you are a proper entropacente.
There you go. That's what he called him, Jake.
Yeah, there we go. It's gone. I can't find it. Can you see it? Is that on the screen?
Yeah, I can see that.
Entropacente. Moyes, you entropacente.
Even if you press on that little.
Oh, it will say it, won't it? Yeah.
It will say it. Yeah, it will say it for you.
Entorpecente.
Could you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Entropacente. Moyes, you entropacente.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining us on this match build-up show. My prediction before we go is a 1-0 West Ham. That's what I said last night. I don't think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be quite boring. I don't think it will be quite flat. Mubama to score the goal just for a bit of a ray of sunshine. And yeah, Mubama to score, quite a dull game. Just get through it, get the 3 points and move on to the Crystal Palace game on Sunday. But I'm looking forward to it. We are exactly 45 minutes away from kickoff. So I'm going to go and finish off with cooking the tea, having a chicken burger, watch the game, and then I will join you back here at 7:45 for the match reaction. There we go. Straight after game. Yeah, 5:45. And so yeah, 7:45. We'll be here with a match reaction. Hopefully, Nigel, talking about a win.
Hopefully.
Let's hope so. From us, come on your irons, and we will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
See you later.